Creating ISO 2. So this is ISO 2, and looking at it, I'm thinking that the easiest way to create it would be to create a three-dimensional solid and then chip away at this piece and finally remove the curve. So looking at this, I can see that my width is 2.5 inches. My height is 1.5 inch, and my depth is 1.25 inches. So I'm going to start by creating a cube of that size. Okay, I'll start with the sketch, and to make it easy, I'll do it on my front plane. Looking at my front plane, I'm just going to create a big rectangle. And my rectangle is going to be a width of 2.5, enter, and a height of 1.5, enter. Okay, I've got my shape there. Let's extrude that out, and we're going to extrude it at a depth of 1.25. Okay, so I've got my big rectangle. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chip away at the front and remove this rectangle. So to do that, let's take a look at our sketch again. And I can see that that rectangle is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be 1.5 wide, and the height is going to be our total height minus 0.5. So let's come back into our OnShape, and we're going to create a sketch on the front, Okay, look at it from the front. And I know I'm going to create a rectangle. Okay, we already discussed that the width of that rectangle is going to be 1.5, and the height of that rectangle is going to be, let's see, 1. Okay, let's save that, and let's extrude that portion away. Okay, so we will go to our extrusion tool. We're going to remove through the entire object, and this is what we're going to remove. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to put this square hole in the top of this plane. So we're going to just hit escape so nothing is selected, and we're going to hit the sketch tool. I'm going to do this top portion. Notice it's only that square. Okay, and I'm going to create a square within it. And I know that my dimensions of my square are going to be 0.5. Oops, I lost it. That's okay. We'll go to the dimension tool, and we'll say that this is going to be 0.5. And this is going to be 0.5. Looking at our sketch, I see that it is 0.25 away from this edge and 0.5 away from that edge. So I'm going to say that this is 0.25 away in that direction, and it is 0.5 away in this direction. And I'm going to remove that square hole. Okay, so now I have my shape with the square hole, and I'm missing the one last piece of the puzzle, and that's removing this curve. Now, it's hard to see on this paper, but this curve is part of a circle that has a diameter of 2 inches. So let's go back to our sketch tool. We're going to sketch on this side. So we'll look at the right, and we're going to sketch a circle that starts at this corner. Oops, it's not the front plane. It is the right plane, okay? So we are going to create a circle that starts here, and having a diameter of 2 will help us out because it will give us the measurements that we need here. Excuse me. Okay, so in the dimensioning tool, if I go from this point to this side, that should be 0.25, and it is. Okay, this height should be 0.5, and it is. Okay, so I know that that circle with a diameter of 2 was fine. Now, to make this work in OnShape, I'm going to need to constrain the circle and then trim off the parts that I don't need. So I'm going to create a line from here, and I'm just going to drag it straight across, hit escape, create another line from here, and it's okay if it extends. Oops, let's redo that one. So undo is a Control-Z. A line from here, making sure that it is vertical to here, hit escape. Okay, now that I have those lines, I can trim off the parts of the circle that I no longer need. So to trim, I'm going to choose the trim tool, and I'm going to say, get rid of this. And now all I have is this little slice of the pie. So having that slice of the pie, I can do my extrusion all the way through. So we're going to extrude in the negative direction through the entire object, this little piece. And we're going to say, let's see if that works. Okay, so it got that part. Oh, and it got the whole thing. So now I've created my ISO 2. And I would recommend doing it in the same order of steps. Of course, there's many different ways you can do this. If you come up with an easier way, please let me know.